Hello and welcome to episode 16 of my team career mode on F1 2021. Today we have the USA race around Texas or Austin, Texas, I believe it is, and we are going to jump, as we do in every episode, straight into practice. I'll get the quick practice sessions done. Like you can see here, I've sped it up, changing the engine components and getting practice done. We'll go into qualifying, get our best qualifying laps, well, showing you guys the best qualifying laps, and then we'll head into the race. Now, USA I'm not that strong at. I don't think I'm very good at the S section in Sector 1. Obviously, we'll try our best at what we can do. Obviously, it's all down to qualifying as well. If we get a good qualifying session, then I reckon we will get a good finish in the race. Especially if I can overuse the DRS straight. Right, as you can see, this is our second lap in Q1. We are currently sitting P10, so we're last, effectively, as only 11 runners have gone out. We're a second up on our best time. What can we do? Little corner cut there, I should get a warning for that. We do so. Where can we get our provisional first lap? Our banker lap. What are we going to get? We're going to go up to P9, so we're second from last, or third from last. Can we get through to Q2? No, we can't. P18 is where we finish. I did go out for a second run, but it started to rain, so I didn't go anywhere. So I didn't see the point of bringing you that qualifying lap. Let's jump into the racing.
Quite where we'd want to be on the grid.
Just before we do that, I've got
not the end of the world.
To bring you the pre-race weather forecast. It will end in rain. The USA race will end in rain, which is annoying. Probably could have guessed that considering qualifying ended wet. We've got a lot of R&D in progress at the moment, a lot of upgrades. Hopefully at the end of the season we'll get a bit more funding in and we'll be able to buy the facility upgrades so we can do 2 at once, because our car is around a 7th, 8th best car. We're overperforming this year as we're ahead of the Alpines and the AlphaTauris currently. But I'd like to step up into the higher midfield for next season. Now let's jump into the racing.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin, in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself 14 miles southeast of the city centre and home to the US Grand Prix since 2012. The latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside the great city of Austin. This is the 3.6 mile lap with 20 corners, 10 each to the left and to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Pierre Gasly and Vettel, Ocon, Raikkonen, Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Antonio Giovinazzi. The owner driver, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty. Lando Norris and Mazepin. Stroll, Latifi, Yuki Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Fernando Alonso. Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher, Russell and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay, so bit of a weird change of events. We are starting P11 in the USA Grand Prix. There must have been a lot of penalties for all the AI cars. I'm looking at strategy here, and there's going to be rain at the end of this race. So I'm thinking of just going soft, using the 2 best tyre compounds before we go on to the wets. It'll probably be intermediates. And we start the race in P11, 5 red lights, and away we go. Let's go. Can we get a good start on Giovinazzi? We don't. Unfortunately, the McLarens behind us, who I'm assuming have both taken grid penalties, get amazing starts as Ricciardo goes into the back of Giovinazzi. We try to avoid the incident, and we do go around the outside. A virtual safety car has been deployed. Let's take a look at the replay. This is on board Ricciardo. He just goes into the back of Giovinazzi, loses his front wing. I'm not actually sure why he did basically just drive into the back of my teammate. Ricciardo's going to pull off to the side, and I believe Ricciardo is going to retire from this Grand Prix. The virtual safety car has ended. We are up to P9 after that collision at turn 1. Norris has dropped down the order again after getting a really good start on me. Raikkonen's in P10. I'm not sure where Giovinazzi is. I can't see. He is behind Lando Norris, is Antonio Giovinazzi, as you can see here. There is a yellow flag as someone else is going to DNF. It looks like it's going to be George Russell DNFing from this Grand Prix. It could be Latifi. So that's another racer out of this Grand Prix. Will it give a safety car? I'm not quite sure. It hasn't come up yet. Nicholas Latifi is out of the Grand Prix. It's not George Russell, but there is no safety car. Right, lap 3 now. A lot of drama has happened on lap 3 as Lando Norris tries to go down the inside, aggressive into the final turn. Can we re-overtake him? We don't have DRS, but the young Brit does. We're going to try and do a little bit of a switchback on the Brit. And the McLaren driver does get through, unfortunately. He isn't a much faster car, so I'm going to try and stay with him and let him pull me along. We're now on lap 4. We're going to get the DRS down the main straight. Can we re-overtake him? Because if we're ahead of him, it means he's not driving off. We are going to get an overtake here on the McLaren driver. Can we make the move stick? We go round the outside. We're going to have the inside for the next corner. We're going to go up the inside. No contact made. We're wheel-to-wheel racing with Lando here. And then we'll have the better exit as we regain P9 in this race. Now on lap 6 as Lando Norris again is trying to get past us. We take a really bad line through there. But I do think that allows us to get the DRS on the next straight. We'll try and get a good exit. We do get the DRS. Our tyres are now around 25% warm, 30% on the fronts. As you can see up on the top left, Verstappen and Ocon are fighting. Unfortunately, we didn't get a good enough exit onto that straight, and we do lose the position to Lando Norris. Into lap 8 now. Tyres are 40% worn, so I'm having to be very conservative, going around the S's especially. We let Giovinazzi through here because our teammate has just got better pace than us in this race. We're going to get the DRS, but Giovinazzi hopefully will drive off.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Tsunoda for P11. We've got Lance Stroll up my inside as well. He's going to go for the outside going into this final corner. Tsunoda's on the inside. Tsunoda's going to dive bomb Giovinazzi. Little contact there between the AlphaTauri and the South Blues Racing driver. We're going to re-overtake Giovinazzi here because my plan didn't happen. We managed to let him back through. And we will have DRS on the Italian.
Box, box. We're coming in this lap.
Okay, we didn't manage to re-overtake Giovinazzi, but we was under pressure from the Canadian of Lance Stroll. We seem to be going backwards in this race. We're going to try and stay with the three that have overtaken us as we take the S's really poorly and we head into the pits at lap 9. We need to get a good pit stop here, if we can. Come on, under 2.5. It's a very slow start. It's going to be over 3 seconds.
You'll be racing as you leave the pits. We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
We drop down to P17. Obviously, a lot of racers are still yet to pit. We're still wheel-to-wheel racing with our teammate this race. It's good. It's been quite an emphatic race in terms of racing with our teammate. We've dropped down to P13 after the first round of pit stops. I'm not sure if there's 1 or 2 racers that have still got to pit. We'll have to keep an eye on that and where our position ends up. As you can see, one of the Aston Martins, it looks like Sebastian Vettel is in the pits. As we go for a move on Kimi Raikkonen, we get past him after the DRS straight.
Our gap to the car in front is
2.5
seconds.
Lap 17 now,
is 8.9 seconds.
Struggling on this set of tyre, so it's not going to be long before we move on to the mediums. Obviously, we have to keep an eye on the fact that it was meant to rain in this race. Stroll, who is on mediums, gets past us. So we lose a little bit of grip on the exit. Will Stroll manage to pull away from us? We
tyre condition is still looking good.
We are gaining rapidly as we retake P11. Will he come back at us down the inside? He is going to make the move for it. He will have better grip with his tyres at the moment as we make slight contact on our left hand side back up to P11.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
And on this next clip you can see there is slight rain. There is very slight rain, so we are going to box this lap. It's a risk because no one else has boxed yet. We will be the first car on intermediate tyres. It is a risk. We needed to go onto mediums as it was. It was around our pit stop lap. We are going to go on to intermediates on this lap. As you can see, Giovinazzi, Schumacher and Alonso do not pit, so they carry on for another lap. Will this bite us in the arse? Looks like Raikkonen behind us has also pitted. This is Giovinazzi, I believe, on the next lap coming into pit. Oh no, it's not, it's us. This is our pit stop onto the intermediates. And as you can see, as we're going through the S's, the track is now very, very wet. In a matter of one sector.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
Because the track is so wet. I don't know what's happened in Austin, Texas here, but the track's just, it would have been unbearable to drive on the soft compound of tyre, especially warm. So we come around the final few sectors as there is a yellow flag up the road. What is that? Why is there a yellow flag? It looks like it's Giovinazzi. Our teammate seems to be on the grass. He spun, and then to correct himself, he seems to have just driven off into the grass. He will be looking to pit as he re-enters the track. We're almost going to hit him. Oh my god, we was very close to smashing into our teammate there. Giovinazzi does enter the pits. Look how close that is. Oof, he obviously wanted to go onto the pits. That's why he was driving across the track. But he should have waited for his teammates to pass him. I just sped up this little clip, which is just a few laps prior to the finish of the race. We are in P11. We're 35 seconds behind Tsunoda. Unfortunately, we're not going to get points in this American Grand Prix as Bottas comes across as the race winner. Well done to the Finn. We are just going to finish off our last lap. There's no one behind us, there's no one in front of us. Just going to speed it up for you guys, just so it goes through fairly quickly. Down the end of the DRS straight, around that bend. And here we are, last few corners, and we get P11 in the USA Grand Prix.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. It's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Mick Schumacher gets my vote today.
The Constructors' Championship may be a foregone conclusion at the moment, but regardless, let's look at the standings. It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. And with that, we wrap up another...